Hello, everyone. Ralphie No Pants back again here with Midalus this time on MWO Leagues 2. We are doing some adventures in Division G, the infamous G spot. We've got El Coyote Lobos de la Muerte, probably called Coyotes or Lobos going forward, against the Shadowcat Wizard Gang, probably calling them the Wizard Gang. They came in and they locked up right early and right quick. So we're going to go straight into Frozen City Night.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Thanks for having me, Ralphie. And
Yeah,
always fun to cast these matches between the brand new teams. Try to get them hyped to stick around.
yeah.
That's my goal, anyways.
So I'm right here next to Sigma. If you want to take a look at the team on the other side, I'm
Sure, why don't
seeing
you go first?
I'm seeing some Shadowcats here from Lokendak. He's got ER Meads, ER AP Goss. Seeing the same, something similar from Shadowcat with ATMs from Nyx. The Shadowcat Wizard Gang pulling two Shadowcats right out the deck. They've got the Cap Spider, a Jenner Foxtrot. That's going to be the ER Large. Yep, so they're doing the thing I saw from them last time where they have a little bit of range on everything, it looks like. An Enforcer and a Crab B. Crab ERs and smalls, Enforcers, Ultra 5s. And they've got a linebacker Delta out there somewhere that I'm sure I'll find later. They're grabbing their caps right quick. What are you seeing over there, Medalist?
So over on Coyote's side, it looks like we have a kind of high DPS brawl deck with they got a wolf pack, and then in addition to the wolf pack, they have two Krails. And in that wolf pack, there's an Arctic wolf, probably Splat, a Viper, pretty standard HMG, a Javelin with HMG MXPL, and then a really interesting Light Peep MG Javelin. And then they also have a Hunchback Bravo, which has...
That's going to be the missile one.
Yeah, it's 4 SRM-6, 2 medium pulse lasers. So it looks like they're getting into it in the lower city soon, or setting up for that, both teams.
Yep, they've got that hill in the middle of them, and they're not quite ready to... Neither one's quite ready to commit. Looks like Blue Doe and the Arctic Wolf is trying to either go around and get another cap, or... Yeah, he's heading off towards Sigma, and it looks like he's pulling two Shadowcats with him.
Yeah, they saw him, so if they get distracted by him, it could be good for Coyotes. But if they realize that Coyotes is down by one mech, they could just collapse on him and take the unfair fight here.
Oh, looks like there's something going on here. Novtus in the Viper is trading with Kitsune Appreciator.
Yeah, this is...
That might be the push. That might be the push from Coyotes. Nope. A couple of them. They're coming around the corner.
Direct line here, the Coyotes are, which is interesting because I think you were saying the builds on the other side are a little more mid-rangey.
Yeah, it's a lot more... There's a lot of brawl, but it looks like everything has one mid-range or one long-range weapon on it here from the Shadowcats.
So we have kind of a, I would say sort of a weird NASCAR to trade cap thing going on here. Neither team looking to make a direct confrontation.
Yeah. Coyote's got those caps for a moment there, so they pulled that up, and then now it's back to 2 to 3. So the cap pressure isn't as high, and yeah, they've just switched sides. I almost expected a tunnel push, and it looks like that's that... I hope it's that spider that's over there grabbing the other cap. That's the one with the... It is not the spider. The spider is in trouble.
Oh, okay. I can keep an eye out on the outside mechs if you want to look at the main battle.
Yeah, let's look in here. Fayhilt is getting smacked by a bunch of folks in the linebacker. That's a leg. He's got the javelins circling him. Here we go. Coyotes are pushing now.
And interestingly, Wizards, they still have a mech that's capping, giving Coyotes this man up fight here, or mech up fight.
Yeah. It looks like that mech is coming back, but
Wizards just lost Shadowcat to the DPS brawl here. Another mech goes down.
yeah, looks like the Coyotes are starting to find those 2v1s or 2v3s, just starting to get that focus fire in now. Blazer's back in that spider. Oh, that must have lost a leg right there. There he goes. Kitsune Appreciator here holding out for a long time in that Enforcer. Oh, looks like he's taking a nap, though. Oh, that's a death. And here is
the crab. Maybe he can pull out some legs or something before he goes. I don't know. This high DPS MG strategy in the lower divisions can be pretty powerful if the other team doesn't recognize it's coming, because once you're in the fight, you just kind of find stuff to stare at. As long as everybody's staring at the same thing, it'll go down pretty quick.
Yeah, and there's Ghoul going down. So let's see here. The caps are equal right now.
Yeah, I don't think any trouble for Coyotes to wrap this one up, but a good effort by Wizards.
Yeah.
They were able to kind of kite in the beginning, and Coyotes did give them a lot of time. Their damage was pretty spread. Looking at Coyotes,
yeah,
only one mech at 50%, the rest at 70-ish or higher. 60
yeah.
maybe.
The javelin had both its legs open.
Okay.
One of the Crusaders, one of the Krails had a leg open, but there was a lot of back armor pulled off of things too, and I'm not sure if that's just because that's how the brawl went, or if that's just the way the world works here. I'm going to get out of that.
Yeah, I wonder if in the beginning, because they were a little bit cagey, Coyotes sort of gave Wizards maybe the impression that they were going to play a little slower game, and so Wizards was content to send that Jenner off to get the back cap. It'd be interesting to hear from Coyotes too if they were conscious of forcing a push when they realized one of the Wizards mechs was off capping, or if they just decided they saw a juicy target and wanted to go for it.
Just making sure they're ready to swap the sides. Shadowcats are saying they're ready. Wizards are saying they're ready. I just said I was going to call them Wizards, and I didn't do it.
I mean, every Shadowcat is a wizard in a way, right?
Yep. All right, and they are ready to swap. And then here you go. I don't know if you've got anything you want to talk about in the maps, but I'll get you set so you can do that if you'd like while I swap them around. Because this map's got a couple little weird things you can do, but yeah. And here's the map room link in case I forgot to get that to you. Here comes the swap.
Okay, I will pop open that link and have a look.
I got confused because they don't all have the same unit tag. I know it's not required, but oh boy, does that confuse me when they don't.
In our unit, we get comments on that all the time. Every lobby, everybody's like, "Why do you have nobody with the same tag?" And it's because I don't know, we respect player autonomy, I guess. So this map does have some quirks, and we have seen all kinds of strategies from many different types of teams. I would expect at a lower division team, probably maybe we see brawl versus brawl, and whoever takes the first and decisive step over the dropship is probably going to fight in this open area, or maybe here, or sometimes it's very common for team 2 to fast push lower city because it feels familiar from quick play. Sometimes you might see lower div team try to do a tunnel thing while they distract. Um, Another kind of more getting up into the lower divisions of the middle divisions. Maybe you'll see some receive mechs from Team 2 set up on this ridge. On the other side, we saw KDCM versus Fjord. KDCM set up a receive all the way back here. It was pretty crazy, like on the edge of the map, and then one NovaCat on top of this building. And then I think they had a Jenner Fury over here. So it worked out for them. It felt a little tenuous, but definitely worked out. So that was pretty wild and kind of unexpected, I think, from the Team 1 side. A more conventional receive might just be on this default hill by
Yeah.
Bravo spawn.
Yeah, or you can also see it, up here in the city
Yeah.
on this line. Making sure,
Yeah.
get somebody up here to make sure that they can check and have that seismic on in case anybody's coming through the tunnel.
Yeah, that's a good point. I forgot about seismic. It can be very useful depending on the map, especially like HPG, for example, can be very useful. One note about Theta for new teams is you do kind of have to decide early if you want to involve Theta. Like you kind of have to have a mech that can go get it and come back real fast because otherwise, if the other team knows what's up, they'll be like, oh, they're taking Theta. We should just like kill them. And they'll have a mech late to the fight. But if you send something real fast and jumpy over here, it can be a good opportunity to add some cap pressure. I don't think it really gives you map control. You sort of have to have mechs with offensive capability around here in order to really control Theta. But that added cap pressure can be nice.
Yeah. Lots of times you'll see a team send something with a fair amount of jump jets, speed and jump jets down there so it can grab it and then get back up to the party with everyone else.
Uh, yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what the teams I think we have generally seen Wizards play a lot less full send brawl and Coyotes play a lot more full send brawl. And it's interesting because I think Coyotes has been getting a little bit of peer advice from Oxy, and Oxy is very much a full send style of team. So
Yep. All
I would
right.
be interested to see from Wizards how they will develop over time because they do have as their team leader a fairly experienced Rainbow Six Siege coach. So maybe once his game knowledge has developed a little more, we may see more deck changes and strategy changes from Get Lucky Ghoul.
Yeah. Yeah, my team this season is a div up, and we scrimmed the Wizards once.
Uh-huh.
We tried to do it twice, but schedules. Um, talk about focusing and getting ready, and oh no, something's happened.
Uh-oh. We got a DC from Get Lucky Ghoul. Okay, his
His
internet just
internet
blipped.
blipped. That's
Oh,
terrifying.
slow.
Yeah. PGI is sending a star of piranhas to get him. Here we go. The two teams are locked. So we're seeing from Team 1, we're seeing Bravo and Charlie, which is that wide split up top with the low trench and the easy tunnel access. Team 2 is going Bravo Charlie. That's not the tunnel side. All right, here we go. I'm going to give them another drop. We'll see how it goes. This time, both teams are North American, so we're staying on the North American server for all of the drops, unlike the last one where we were alternating. And I am once again over here by Sigma, taking a look and seeing what we can see.
Okay, I am still loading in. So you go
I
first.
I've got here an Incubus, Heavy Machine Gun, Small Pulse, Summoner B, Ultra 10s, Hunchback, 2C Bravo, once again, Medium Pulse Lasers, SRM6s, the Javelins with the Heavy Machine Guns and the Small Pulse Lasers. That's one group, and the other one is another Summoner B, a Viper with the Heavy Machine Guns and the Micros. Blue Doe doing a dance here in his Summoner. He's got the Ultras and the in there,
Okay,
and yeah.
so I'm on team one side, Wizards. We got a Spider 5K, which I assume is going to be standard brawl. I can't click on him. We have a Charger 1A1, 6 ER, 1 ER large lasers, 6 small lasers, a Wolfhound 1B with medium pulse, an Enforcer 5P with 2 Ultra AC5, Cap Spider. Don't know what it has. Probably not going to be able to click on it. The crab we saw before. Uh, 2 ER large, 2 small X pulse, a Shadowcat with a whole salad build, 4 ER medium, 1 ER large, 1 SRM6, 2 AP boss.
Yeah. Oh, Get Lucky Ghoul getting focused by a few mechs as he pokes around, but Swift Killer. Oh, ooh, that land. They are trying to get that Charger down. They are trying to Get Lucky Ghoul is down. Shadowcat, the Wizard Gang getting up there quick. Let's see if they can keep that focus and find their next target. Looks like they're having some questions.
The Summoner has orange CT, so they're now red CT armor. Sorry, so they had some decent focus fire on it, but they think the Wizards are kind of struggling here with this brawl DPS. Their mixed builds are kind of a liability in this context here, and they do have one mech still capping while this fight is going on. So kind of outgunned in terms of mechs and builds.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it can be a thing to try to brawl it out, pull the legs, and win on caps, but usually you'll see that in the heavier drops, not these lighter ones. Coyote is just hunting down Fahite. Fayhilt. There we go. Yeah, Words. My
in
mouth.
fairness, the mech that is capping is the Cap Spider, so
yeah,
it's not like it's not performing in its role. It's just, it seems like maybe Wizards didn't spot the setup from. There was a Viper, not Viz, I think, that was just like sitting on top of one of the buildings, laying into the Wizard Gang unnoticed.
Yeah.
So hopefully in these next coming drops, we'll see some more variety in how things unfold, and we'll see maybe, every team's got some style, even if it's not an intentional style.
Yeah.
And how things go depends on the maps, and we can see, and the tonnages, and we can see, like you were saying, some strategies will work in certain tonnages and maps, and others, if you change the map, it may not be so good anymore.
Yeah. I mean, Shadowcats, they did, they are ahead by 2 points. If that brawl could have taken longer, the Cap Spider could do it.
Yeah, and if they dragged out the brawl, that may have been possible. But again, we probably would want to see that on a much bigger map.
Yeah, on a much bigger map and with much higher tonnage, where if you're the last one, you're not getting chased by other lights or pseudo lights like this Viper here. Yeah, and he avoided the sandwich between the Viper and the Incubus.
I have to say though, for being basically outdecked, Wizards did put kind of respectable damage on some of these mechs. Like their focus fire was decent for a new team. The Summoners open CT, kind of spread a little bit on the side torsos, but not much on the legs. The Hunchback is red CT armor, open side torso. Other Summoner's kind of fresh, but I mean, he was not really.
He was further back, yeah. He wasn't the focus target. There we go.
The Javelin is kind of, a little more spread damage on the Javelin. The Incubus, also the same. Well, they had some decent focus on this Incubus legs.
Yeah.
So all in all, if you're a new team leader, I wouldn't be super concerned with drop wins. Of course, they feel good, and it's nice to have confirmation of what you practice. But as long as you feel like your team is improving in some of the areas that you've identified, then it's probably you're probably on the
Yeah.
right track.
Yeah, that's because what is it? This is year 2 for my team, and is it the same for yours? I think pretty close.
Sorry, what do you?
Uh, Year 2 for your team in the comp here.
Oh, in this Battle for Midway, how many we've won or lost?
No, second year playing comp. Uh,
Second year. Oh, uh-huh. Yes, this would be our second year playing comp on a more serious level.
yeah, yeah. Lots of double damage holds. Um, Otherwise, a pretty good damage spread from the Coyotes, like we expected. They're just taking a peek at the stats. Get that. And now we're moving to a really classic map. The good old Forest Colony Snow. Like I remember playing this one. This was like one of the maps. There were no other maps. Um, there's a couple of things you can do there, and then change the map there. All right, so we'll see here because with this map, as you take a look, there's a few more things you can do. You can try and do long range out from. You can try to do long range out from the water. You could try to do a sneak around. Um, Team 1 probably has easier access to the secret tunnel in some ways, in that they can get there through cover if they'd want to. Whereas Team 2, if they want to get out really past. If they want to get out past that brown line, they've got to be exposed at least a little bit from a few directions. Let's see here. Tonnage is going up. Folks are slowly getting ready. It'll be interesting to see here. Now on this one, we've been seeing the Shadowcats do that. We've been seeing the Wizards do that mixed sort of mech building. And that is letting them, that could be an advantage here depending on where where they go, because if they're up on the land and they're seeing things in the water, or even the other way around, that land water
Um,
divide here, that could be pretty crucial to see what you're going to do. Team 2 is in a much stronger receive position, I think, on this map. Um,
yeah, there's some kind of strange idiosyncrasies. The first one being that the LOD on some of the cover like flips in and out. Um, so that can be something tricky if you're planning a long range deck. I think all the old vets like already know it's like old hat for them, but we didn't we weren't aware that basically somebody on team 2 could just see one of our traders standing behind a rock.
oh,
um, so there's some kind of quirkiness with that. There's some kind of quirkiness with the way the fog works and the trees. uh, in general, I think long range is doable from either side. I don't have enough experience with this map to confidently say like what I would do, but my sort of feeling is if you're going to play team two side long range, maybe it's going to be slightly more difficult for your inland mechs to make a move on Kappa, but I could be wrong there.
Yeah.
Um, it's a funny map. I think at lower divs we'll probably see mostly push, just because long range in general is sort of demanding to logistically.
All right. So we'll pull into the lobby here, and we're seeing Team 1. The Wizards are already locking in. They're going on the Bravo Charlie side of the map, which not terribly indicative. Makes me think they're probably going to try to head up the land, up the land bridge, the Epsilon Sigma, maybe through to Kappa. We'll have to see what they actually do. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be. I'm kind of interested to see this one because it's a small map that feels big, right?
Yeah.
So, and in some respects, the previous map is also sort of, well, maybe it's a big map. I think to lower div teams, the previous map is a big map that feels small, and to lower div teams, this is a small map that feels big. I think higher div teams will have a much different opinion, knowing like all the kind of default routes that you would use for different types of decks.
Yeah.
Um, so it'll be interesting to see and try to infer kind of what's going on through the minds of both of these teams as they do their opening rollouts and what their decks are.
Yeah. And
Looks like
the
they both.
yeah, and the other thing to consider is that um, both of these maps were really built for, play around this size because these maps were introduced, when the game was still 8v8. And we're playing 7-7
That's an
now.
excellent point. Some of the older maps are definitely smaller because they are from an era where the default was 8v8.
Mm-hmm.
And so the newer maps have generally trended bigger.
Yeah. And I'm over here at Epsilon. Let me
Okay,
see who I
go
can
ahead.
get a look at. I've got a Black Knight. Oh, I've got a few things. Let's take a look here. We've got the Black Knight, 2 large, 7 medium, the Osiris, large pulse, ER small. Get some angles here. There we go. Mad Cat 2, 5 ER large, Mad Cat 2, Mad Cat 2C2, Mad Cat 2, oofda. They're pushing a number on me. This one's got 2 Hag 30s, Hunchback 4P with the 7 medium X Pulse, Piranha, Phoenix Hawk with large lasers, medium lasers. Did they just bring one of every kind of Marauder? No, they missed one. But lots of Marauders over here from the Wizards.
So over on um, Coyotes, we have a Niger JK with 5 Ultra 2s, 1 AC5, a Stalker, Stalker 5S, 2 ER large, 4 ER medium, 2 SRM6, 2 SRM4. That'll be interesting to see if they can put it in the right position. Viper with a heavy machine gun. I'm laughing at the Stalker for reasons I will explain.
Okay.
Blood Kid, Arctic Wolf with 2 Hag 20s. Some really interesting builds on Coyote sides. This is something I'm interested to see how this plays out. 6 medium pulse, 8 small laser, Crusader 6T, Summoner B with 2 Ultra 10s. And I think I missed a light mech somewhere. But it looks like Wizards setting up for long range receive.
Yeah, long range
Maybe.
receive, long range trade. Looks like 2 lights are starting to come around past the ship, trying to scout
Oh,
out.
the Coyotes mech I missed was another Jade Kite with 5 Ultra 2s and 2 ER large. That is a fairly interesting build. So the stalker, I am not laughing at you, Coyotes. Don't worry. We brought a similar stalker in a previous match, and the caster was like, "Ooh, and some stalkers with looks like one of everything." So
Yeah.
I'm personally hyped to see if they can use this bracket stalker. It's a really funky mech, but if you put it in the right place, it can cause a lot of pain.
So it looks like the Coyotes are collapsing in on Kappa, while the Wizards are slowly filtering into the secret tunnel. They've either got to go through it and do it, or Uzi's leading that charge in his Crusader, and they're going to get collapsed on.
Yeah, I don't think. Okay, well they got to know what's up now. They've seen two bigs.
Yep.
Looks like some of them are turning around. Wizards has to kind of commit to holding this entry or just doing the loop-de-loop. And
Yeah.
this Phoenix Hawk needs to be careful not to get caught out, left behind.
Yep. He's
But
fighting that Arctic Wolf right now. He's got the
yeah,
large
it's interesting.
lasers.
He's landing his shots too, which you wouldn't expect from a hag build onto another small fast mech. Looks like this Phoenix Hawk may get sold out here if Coyotes realizes. Can he slip away into the tunnel? Maybe. See, geometry willing. He's able to slip away in the tunnel. We got another fight in the backside going between this Viper and an Osiris. And the Osiris has a little bit of support. We'll see. Coyotes has, like, 3 caps up, I think.
4 caps up. Yep. Yeah, now
So
the
now
cap pressure is going to be heavy. But it looks like Ghoul and that Osiris is going to get one of them back. Or is going to try at least to get them a cap.
And even though Coyotes has cap control, they don't really have map control. They've kind of abandoned Theta in the water.
Yeah.
They are able to deny Kappa, so that's good. But let me see. Just correct me if I'm wrong. Epsilon is uncapped and the remainder are capped by Coyotes?
That is correct, yes.
Okay, sometimes my UI is bugged when I load in late.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's Wizards to make a move here. They got maybe like another 30 seconds. Maybe a minute if they're decisive.
Yeah.
Rolling out fast.
So that group that went into the tunnel is coming back out, and it looks like they're trying to catch the side here of the Coyotes, trying to catch that stalker and everything else. And we'll see if this flanking attempt they can pull it off here.
2 assaults on Wizards might be able to hold the line long enough for these mechs at the tunnel, but the tunnel mechs really got to pour out of there into the backs of Coyotes and take advantage of this divided attention. Otherwise, they're just gonna sell their bigs for free here.
Yeah.
Looks like the Marauder 2 is about to get sold.
Yep, there's the Marauder 2C, and soon here's going to be the Marauder 2. Let's see if he'll at least pull something.
We're still seeing fairly static positioning from Wizards here, not seeing as much aggression as you'd like to see while their assault is kind of hanging out to dry there. But there's still some damage out on Coyotes. Now the pressure is really on to get some kills, even this up. Let's see if they can find some weak Coyotes to pick off, or if the Coyotes are going to turn around and just kind of collapse on this. It looks
like Ghoul and his Osiris might be trying to escape and get some sort of handle on the caps, but that's just not working for him.
Wizards picks up a kill on the Crusader, the Coyotes Crusader.
Yep, they got Uzi Man, took down the team captain.
So the Summoner is one touch, one right leg, but Wizards 2 has 2 mechs that are very badly hurt at the tunnel entrance.
Yep, there goes Blue Doe.
Arctic Wolf is making good use of its high mounts here, peeking these 2 bigs. I think it killed. Oh, that Osiris you mentioned won the fight on the backside. Is actually coming back into the backs of Coyote. This could actually turn it. This Osiris, if he's smart.
If he's lucky, yeah. If he can keep moving.
I think he shut down for a second there, though. I'm not sure what happened. He's got both legs open, though. Kind of a oof. Yeah. That
one was much closer and much more, I think, what the Wizards were trying to see. I think they were trying a
Yeah,
couple of mobility strats, trying to get around and do some flanks. And with a
yeah,
little more aggression, I think those could have gone.
yeah. Wizards had a good opportunity. I'm not sure how cognizant they were of it, but just a little more decisiveness and, like you said, aggression when they had them sandwiched. Even though it may not have felt like a sandwich to them, they had, you know, two assaults on one end that got all the attention of Coyotes. And as soon as those Coyotes turned around, all the other mechs in the tunnel got to be pouring out and capitalizing on selling out your assaults there.
Yeah. And at the same time, we're seeing these. I've seen these teams a little bit, as we're going through this here. And, they're the way things are going. My team's probably going to get relegated back down to this division. And these guys are starting to look a little bit scary.
Yeah, we had reasonable damage numbers on both sides. Coyotes farmed a lot of damage in general, and Wizards had some mechs that were no slouch too.
Yep. And they are ready for their swap. So let's do it here. There we go. So we've got the sides swapped. Now the teams are going to play the other side of the same map. So we'll see if they reverse each other's strategies, decide they've learned anything from each other, or just stick to what they were trying to do from the other side.
Yeah, I didn't catch as many builds on the Wizards side. It would be interesting to see when I look back at the VOD. It'd be interesting to see if they had more kind of role specialized builds and less kind of weapon salad. Uh, and maybe if that gave them a little better edge in that last drop, even
Yeah.
if they couldn't pull out the win.
Yeah, I think that's solidifying on one group of weapons or the other will really help them out a lot. Um, and from what I've seen there, they had some folks there that could do the range, and some folks
Yeah.
that could do the brawling, and maybe you do an anchor and a wolf pack, or you do, or you work on getting everybody together to do the same thing. But it's one of those where you gotta at some point you just sort of have to decide to do a thing. At least in my opinion, I've never been great at really mixed mechs. Um, you know,
I
but
think mixed mechs can play a role when you have some familiarity with your opponent and you have some familiarity with how a map plays out, and you're kind of thinking, it would be nice to have a mech that has long range capability, but also some short range punch. And if we think about it, there are some very classic choices for that, like the Executioner
yep,
and also the Crusader. And you see those get picked, but I don't know if they're consciously picked in the lower divisions for their bracket capability.
yeah,
Some bracket mechs you might see in the higher divs would be something like a Vigal with ERPPCs and SRMs, or I saw some summoners with two ER large and SRMs. They had a very specific job on Terra Firma, which was to be able to deny caps, but also hold a very powerful choke point with their SRMs at the same time. So those kinds of things, though, I would say I would caution new teams, or even for my team, like we don't really try to do bracket stuff very often because our cohesion and our coordination, our ability to execute very complex things like this is not I mean, to higher div teams, it won't seem complex, but we like to the lower div teams, we're still trying to kind of get master the fundamentals of good communication, focus fire, reading the enemy deck types, reading who has map control, who doesn't have map control.
Yeah.
Um, it's harder to use those bracket builds.
Yeah. For those
But
of
then
us who just got
bracket
here,
stock.
yeah.
Go ahead.
For those of us who just got here a little bit ago, those bracket builds are harder. And I get the idea of being able to have some poke and some brawl in all the mechs. Like, I understand the idea. I think the concept seems good. It's just the way like in a real life versus a video game sort of scenario. So I'm over here at Epsilon, and I'll take a look and see what mechs we get over here.
Sounds good.
Marauder 2C, Mad Cat Mark II, Ultra 5s, Ultra 10s, Incubus, Heavy, Machine Guns, Small Pulse, Arctic Wolf with the 2 Hags again, Splat Cat, Night Gear D, 3 AC-10s ERPPC, that's a classic. And then there's the Stalker FB over here, and let's see which one that is. Is that the 6 ER Large Laser? It's not usually the one you put all that on there, but we'll see what happens.
By the way, they called a hold.
Yep. Saw the hold called.
Confirmation of a hold. Well, now we did. I will pull up the rules just in case they have questions about.
Yeah, they can redrop if they want.
If they want us to read out the rules to them or type out the rules to them, I can type it out. But I don't believe there is a.
Nope, the rule about having a cap is from a different tournament.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so they're going to kill each other and... Okay, they've got one cap. Okay, so it'll be fine. Yeah. All right, that's neat. Glad this got sorted out. Yeah, be sure the DC dies. That's the main thing. We don't want to be here waiting for the DC.
Who is the DC?
I didn't catch it. Let me see if I can... No, my usual buttons for scrolling through the chat did not work. Oh, that was nice. They figured that out, what they wanted to do right quick.
Yeah, so I think this is probably acceptable in a technical. If we want to get technical,
We don't.
We're not.
We're in the G spot. We're in Division G.
Just so the teams know in the future, the rules are written in a certain way to avoid having a team use the redrop function in order to see the enemy mechs. So that's why it's written so that the team that calls for a redrop has to kill themselves first, and then disconnect from the lobby once they're dead, and then only after that happens, the other team will cap a point and does the same thing. And then in theory, the team that calls for a redrop does not see the enemy mechs, and so does not gain an advantage by calling for a redrop.
Yeah.
That's just an explanation of it's not a ruling on this drop.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I don't think anybody... Oh, forgot to pay his Comstar bills. That'll be a problem. Team 1 locked up right away, right again. Team 2 going to be locked right away. Just tell them all to check their Comstar accounts one more time. And, here we go.
This is Bob from Comstar here. I'm trying to reach you about your mech's extended warranty.
Yeah. Yeah.
That one didn't land.
No, it's just that I at one point was playing a wee bit of Beer Warrior and made some jokes about extended warranties, and PGI wasn't terribly happy with me. But yeah, I took a look at them over there. So let me see if I can get you all a view over here from this side on these mechs. Jenner
Okay,
with the
back in.
large and the mediums. Yeah, large. That's there we go.
Are you talking about the gamma side? Because I can do the gamma side if you like.
It looks like it's the same mechs again.
Yeah, it is. It is the same mechs as last time.
Yeah, I just didn't get a chance to take a peek at the get the loadouts from the Shadowcats on the stream last time. I know you called them out, but I didn't get a chance to get the little pictures.
I see. Okay, yeah, we got Laser Von Black Knight, Mad Cat, two Hag 30s and SRMs, Mad 5M with two medium pulse, two snubs, and one silver bullet Gauss rifle. So another kind of brackety. Actually, the Gauss snub could be interesting. Hellbringer with two ER peeps, three ER mediums, two heavy machine guns, so another kind of brackety build. Get Lucky Ghoul, team leader in the favorite Jenner, one ER large, three ER mediums.
Oh,
Phoenix Hawk
they're
with two ER large, one SRM6, one ER medium laser. So again, more sort of, I think there's a difference, a qualitative difference between a bracket build and a salad build too.
yeah.
Let's put it that way.
It looks like the Wizards are contemplating the joys of the Tunnel of Love.
Yeah. Maybe take a moment to ponder their orbs. Oh, I missed out on a Yvonne Jag who has one Ultra 10, two ER mediums, two SRM6, and a heavy large laser. Okay, so it looks like they have rejected the tunnel, maybe seen the Kappa push from Wizards, or sorry, from Coyotes.
Yep. Get Lucky Ghoul out here trying to trade in that Jenner from out at the edge of the water.
Yeah, percentages actually, if you.
Like, he wasn't doing too bad, but that's
Yeah,
still
okay, so he's taken quite a bit of damage for being a light mech.
yeah.
One of his legs is red orange armor, which is not what you want to see in the first few minutes of the match. And Coyotes has been able to creep up their short range kind of for free here. You can see these catapults get into the action.
Yep. Ghoul
Which they,
giving up the radio tower. Oh, and here comes the brawl in that little rat's nest over here in Tangletown.
yeah, we've got this Mad Cat on Wizards taking a lot of heat from these catapults. Wizards did put out a lot of damage on the side torso of Coyotes Mad Cat, but lost their own Mad Cat.
In the process
And
there.
Seaman Jag is now red, cherry red right leg, missing its left leg. It is peaking in the correct direction for missing the. Oh. Okay, so this stalker in the back from Coyotes doing some work, pure ER large. Catapult from Uzi, their team leader, looking to dive into the fight here. He's staggering his alpha though. Don't know if he knows there's a HSL quirk on that catapult.
Well, he's been at it so long, he might be at the point where he still needs to.
Yeah,
And
true.
here's the flank coming up there.
Okay.
Coyotes got two up on the radio tower. Ghoul trying to challenge that, but they're just shooting down now.
Yeah, they legged this catapult on Coyote's side, but it is still dangerous. You know, it's fairly healthy, has a respectable amount of range in this context. Still able to reach some of the mechs like this Hellbringer. Uzi is also in his catapult closing in. I think Coyotes kind of smells blood here, looking to finish it off.
Yeah.
This Hellbringer just got legged.
They're doing a much
Um,
better job this time of not letting the caps get out of control, at least. And I don't know
yeah,
if part of that's just because of how the sides spawned or the choices they made, but they're doing a much better job of that, too. You know, there was
yeah.
never.
We saw Wizards contemplate the tunnel, and in that time, Coyotes was able to gain a lot of distance for free.
Yeah.
Um, and in that respects, also intentionally or not, some map control. Um, I something I've seen from Coyotes so far in this match is they have kind of been able to extend their strengths from the light drops into these medium weight drops, and that's a very interesting thing to me. A development shows that they are recognizing their strengths and trying to kind of stretch them into a different context. So we'll see if we can uh, find some find some growth to observe from the Wizards here in this next drop. Because they started off the tourney quite strong relative to all the other brand new teams, the other two brand new teams.
Yeah.
The Wizards did.
Get the get the stats up there quick while we go through so you can take a look there. Nobody in double digits this time. Um, no Bluedo somehow doing 44 team damage, taking the team damage crown so far. Um, yeah. All right, so let's take a look here and head into the lobby as we do the map bans. All right.
Overall, I just hope that this has been an enjoyable tournament for all three new teams. I know um, it can be kind of overwhelming logistically, so hopefully they are
Getting
getting their
ready.
fun value out of the work.
Yeah. Because let's see here. So, who bans first? Yep, it's going to be the Wizards banning first. No HPV.
I think that's a smart call for a newer team. Avoid the urge to congregate in the basement. Maybe feel like you have a little more options on the other maps because they maybe feel a little more open, even if there are kind of distinct lines on it.
All
Looks like they're
right.
going to Canyon.
Yep, so we are playing Canyon.
I will be interested to see if Uzi and his Coyotes will change up their play style a little. We saw them mix in some longer range stuff to good effect on that last drop. They had that stalker in the back that was kind of pinning the flank of Wizards, and um, maybe we will see something different from Wizards too. Maybe we'll see a little higher DPS push deck. Um,
I mean, I want to see Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolt missiles, you mean?
Yeah, I want to see Thunderbolts. So Ghoul
So
wants to be Team 2, so
uh,
the sides stay the same.
yeah, it's interesting. I wonder if they feel like it's the easier side to push from, or if they feel like it's the easier side to receive from. I think intuitively for most new teams, they would probably pick team one to receive. But
Yeah. I mean, looking at this, my first thought is both teams are probably going to try to get either Epsilon or Theta and then see what they can do from there. That's just my general feeling on how this seems to go.
yeah, I think that's a pretty natural instinct for newer teams and even more experienced teams.
Yeah, that Kappa side is very narrow, especially for, I think it's Team 1. And so you don't really want to be making that I don't think you want to be making that push in there if you can avoid it.
Yeah, Kappa side on Canyon is a very kind of dicey proposition. I've seen one higher div match I can remember. I'm sure there's more, where there was a team that tried to push on that side from team one side, and it seemed to work okay at first, and then they kind of stalled out. Didn't work okay in the end.
Yeah, because they're. I just feel it's got. I think it's something with the ramps. But
Yeah,
any.
the Epsilon side ridge, you have that wide open area, and then you also have the continuity of the terrain behind the good ridge cover. Whereas on Kappa side, you can't just run straight across one ridge, and even if you do, you have more kind of canyons and pockets where light mechs can hide and ambush you.
Yeah. But here we go. Going into the last match of this fight here. Oh. So I'm at Sigma here, taking a look at the mechs. I've got Hunchback 4P, the 7 medium X pulses, the Madcat 2-2 with the SRMs and the Hag 30s, Kodiak with the 4 AC10s and an ERPPC, Marauder 5M, Snubs, Silver Bullet Goss, 2 medium pulse. And then, oh, I should push that button. Somebody told me about that in the last game. Thank you. I appreciate that. Lucky over here in his Jenner with the large and mediums next to the Hellbringer, PPCs and medium lasers, Executioner, C, Ultra 20 plasma cannons, SRMs. So I'm going to say they look a little more brawly over here than they have in some of the past ones.
Yeah, a little more DPS, it sounds like, over on Wizards. On Coyote side, we have a Splat Jenner, we have a Magshot Snub Spider, we have a Daka Madcat, a standard build, a Koloss Brawl, Charger 1A1 with small lasers and an AMS, a Stalker 5S with 6 ER large and 4 rocket launchers. I believe the rocket launchers are there for the durability quirk on the missile doors, and then a Mad 2C Delta with 2 ER large and 2 Hag 30s. So, a little more range from Coyotes than we've been seeing, but also a fair amount of DPS. It looks like they're probably going to send a Brawl Pack in with some range overwatch from the Stalker and the Madcat 2, or sorry, not the Marauder 2C.
Yeah. Looks like the Wizards are trying to get Theta, and they took Epsilon.
Yeah.
The strange Kappa push here, 2 lights.
Yeah, I wonder if they thought they might be able to pick a light that goes for Kappa, or just felt insecure about sending a solitary light to Kappa. Wizards grouped up over Theta here, laying into Uzi's Charger.
We got a good 10% off that. Looks like...
Now they're laying into the Mad Marauder 2C, which is kind of hurting on the arm here. It's like we kind of got a good old quick play thing going on here.
Get lucky, Ghoul sniping off from the side, and the Jenner getting some good large laser shots in there from what I can see.
Yeah, let's see what is... Has he only got 1 large laser on that, though?
It's just 1 large, yeah. It's not quite enough. Shadowcat Wizard Gang, that Hellbringer Nyx, already at 80%. Let's see what's happened to him. Oh, he's got an open side torso.
Yeah. Over on the Coyote side, Wizards was able to bring that Charger Uzi down to orange. Okay, so they just picked a Madcat on Wizards side. Coyotes did. We'd probably like to see this Jenner get more active into the backs. And this Stalker from Coyotes, again, is just sort of sitting in the back, happy to be there, laying into stuff that it sees.
Yep.
Wizards has been putting out more damage, I think, faster in this match than they have in any of the other drops, which is good. This Kolos is now down to 43%, lost a side torso. Still has, a decent amount of gun, though. Got to respect it.
Yeah.
The Mad Cat is trading out for the Kolos. They were able to pick that Hellbringer.
There we go. They got the... Yeah.
And this Splat Jenner is really doing a great job of... I think I missed it. Maybe the Splat Jenner picked the Kodiak or something.
Could have done.
I think we have this set of 8 Executioner, which performed very well in an earlier match for Wizards. But this aggression from Coyotes, they just kind of rolled over Theta here. Once they started getting picks, it seems like they got a little more confident.
Yeah.
Are looking to close this out.
Yeah, once the snowball started, it looked pretty rough. Yeah, Gould was getting some damage in across there, but he's got the 1 large, and it's an ER large and 3 ER mediums.
Right.
So he's gonna be a spicy boy in that Jenner, under the best of circumstances.
Yeah, and I have to say I do. This spider is doing work, man. This isn't that nasty. It's not the fastest build in the world, but once it gets into range, you really don't want to be another light mech dueling with it.
No, that's terrifying, actually.
It'll pop your leg in 2 shots usually, something like that.
Yeah. So let's pull the fancy stats here.
A lot of damage on both teams, more so obviously on Coyotes, which you would expect from a win. But still respectable numbers from Wizards. Kodiak pulling out top damage for Wizards at 536. Top damage on Coyotes was that Marauder 2C 681.
Alec coming in with the 33 team damage.
Oh.
Trying to challenge Blue Doe for it, but just couldn't get it. Blue Doe reigns supreme at his 44. So somebody ate the very backside of that Marauder 2C. A good strike from that. And then that brings us to the end for this one.
Yep. This is where we just chill for 5 minutes, I guess.
Yeah.
Thanks for everyone who is joining us or who will be reviewing this VOD in the future. To the new teams that were casted, I hope our commentary was fair and balanced and useful. If it's not, I am definitely open to feedback.
Yeah. We'll take criticism as well from the folks in the audience. I will agree. These teams do great work naming. They all did. And let's see here. Yeah. It looks like it was a pretty nice and friendly and some sweaty maps.
Yeah, I really, I think it'll be really interesting for both teams to go back and watch their first VOD versus this one.
Yeah, I think they'll both see a lot of real growth and development.
Yeah, it'll always kind of feel, well, maybe not always, but in our experience, it sort of feels like you're just kind of grinding away and not really getting anywhere, and then you play a match and you're suddenly like, oh, yeah, we did learn things.
Yeah.
So it's not a linear progression. You will have times where you hang out on a plateau for a little bit, and it's good to get some help. I know our team is looking forward to getting some mentoring from some higher div players soon.
Yeah.
We kind of shied away from it in the beginning because we just wanted to make sure that we had our logistics in order, so we didn't want to ask a coach to show up and then have trouble with other players, our players showing up, for example.
Yeah, no, and that's important, getting your stuff ready and put together. Always good. Um, yeah, but I think both teams can be pretty proud of the progress they've put in and the work they've done.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, building a team, having cohesion, and running through, and and if nothing else, have fun, enjoy it, do the silly stuff.
Yeah.
Um, Doing a quick check on how this division was before this match started. So Oxy and the Redcoats were winning with 41, and Shadowcats were at 27, Coyotes at 19. So the Coyotes just picked up 15 points. So I think they just pulled slightly ahead if I'm remembering how all the scoring works, with a win being 1 point or 3 points, a tie being 2, and a loss 1. But yeah, pretty much a lot of these divisions have been close. It's been good to see, and these teams still have one more weekend. The Coyotes will take on the Dirty Sox, and the Shadowcats will take on the Junkyard Dogs. I hope I get a chance to stop and take a look and see what's going on. Maybe cast a
Yeah.
match or two, but it's going to be a busy
Round
weekend.
five will also be between the currently leading OxyClean and European Redcoats. That'll be an interesting match to watch. And yeah, I do agree that what you're saying about how both teams have lot to be proud of. I feel like also just for new teams, getting people to be able to show up for all your matches and be able to run practice, and there's a lot of like logistical stuff that I think is definitely a good accomplishment for any new team, regardless of your performance on the battlefield.
Yeah. Yeah. And with that, I think that's going to be the end of our G-Spawn action for this evening. I've got to play my match in about 2.5 hours. So some of you might see me getting blown up. But other than that, I've been Ralphie, and this has been Mitalus. And thank you all for watching.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Have a good one.